Gemini, hi. So this is going to be a reading for mid-April 2026. And I'll do the reading for you, and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Gemini. What do we got? Ooh, we got a lot. The overall energy for the reading, the Queen of Cups. Well, your heart is open, and it should be. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, it shouldn't be. You know, you do what you got to do. But, okay. Starting off the reading, you get the Lovers cross by the Six of Cups. It almost looks like a downgrade. It looks like, okay, somebody that was super, 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 super important to you yesterday, today they're not that important. They're like, okay, they're less important. I don't know if that's the case. It literally looks like a little bit of a downgrade there in a soul connection. This is a soul connection, so it's somebody that's part of your soul family for sure. But it's kind of looking a little bit like that. So I don't know if that's the case, or there's quite a few cooks in this kitchen. There's several things going on at the same time, but we'll see. In your focus, the Temperance card, patience might be something you're focusing on. Kind of like, okay, we'll let things settle down and then we can take it from there. In the recent past, the King of Pentacles, I feel like you've tried your best to focus on maybe work, maybe, stuff you're working on, like a lot of focus in the material for you there. In your strength, the Three of Pentacles, you're surrounded by friends here. You're surrounded by, it's almost looking like a community of some sort. There's a lot of people here. There's a support system, good support system you got in place. In the immediate future, Queen of Pentacles, a lot of self-care, self-love. This could be a lot of time for you, and that's it. Supporting this reading, the Knight of Swords, you're doing something. You're in the middle of stuff. You're giddy up and going here. The energy that surrounds, it's almost looking like you're always busy. The energy that surrounds you, and you may not be aware of it, the Ace of Pentacles. It's a brand new beginning. I feel like you flipped a page there. With whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is you're engaged with, I feel like you're flipping a page and jumping into a new chapter here. Or at least a brand new energy. In your hopes and fears, the Seven of Pentacles, I mean, you're kind of hoping for something to work out, where you put in effort, put in energy, and, the results are fucking awesome. But again, you're directing yourself in a more material aspect of things. So maybe you got something going on. Maybe you're getting a new house, or renovating, or there's a lot of material in this type of an energy. For the potential outcome, the Magician, you're trying to manifest something there. Alrighty, you're busy here. You're a busy bee. Let's see what's going on. The energies are moving. Let's do the Queen of Cups. The Page of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Swords. Oh yeah, you're arguing with your heart here. I think there is a downgrade there because these are matters of the heart, and I see you threading lightly, but at the same time kind of arguing with yourself there, with the meaning of something. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why would I feel that? But I do. But I don't want to. But do I feel that? Or do I feel it less? Or is it more? Or is it... There's a lot of that going on there. All right. And I think it revolves around this connection that I feel like it's fairly important to you, whatever it is. Whether you're upgrading or downgrading there, I don't care. I think it's still important. For the Lovers, you get the Two of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So, again, the importance of this connection, I think you're the one that's kind of arguing with yourself to try to establish that. That's on you. What I see from my end is that, again, this is a very important soul connection. part of your soul family, definitely important. The degree of importance, that's up for you to figure it out if you want to. But it seems to have been working out up until a point in working out. Maybe not in the way you desired it to. Maybe it did in its own way, but like not exactly how you envisioned it, you know. But then at some point, everything becomes kind of blurry, kind of up in the air, kind of like, what the fuck just happened? What is going on here? You know? And I feel like that's when things kind of started downgrading for you, or your perception of this connection. Let's do the Six of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords. Ooh! But when you downgraded it, it almost feels like you downgraded it to its grave, to its termination. Like, fuck this shit, I'm done. You're not done though, because you got the Seven of Wands there. So as much as this took a drop in the intensity and the meaning for you, in a hole down in the ground, you didn't let it go there. It might have dropped there energetically. It might have felt that, okay, I'm done with this. But in the physical, I don't think you're done with this. And it's okay if you're not. We'll see what it's about and what the process is here. But it definitely took a fall. The meaning of this to you, you know. Ooh, and a nasty fall too, you know. Not an easy one. Not a light feathery. No, like that. Okay. For the Temperance card in your focus, you get the Moon, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles. Again, I feel like you're trying to allow yourself as much time as possible to just let things sink in, you know, to let everything kind of settle down, because I don't know how fast this happened for you, but I get a sense that pretty fast, the drop. So I feel like instead of just kind of responding to whatever you feel right away, I feel like you're giving yourself some time and space so that things can fall into place. And then you'll take it from there. You know, like you don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. You just need to let it be. And then when you feel like, okay, this is a good time for me to do something, then you go ahead and do that, you know. So for right now, you're kind of letting it be. For the King of Pentacles in the recent past, you get the Justice card, the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. All right, so in here, I see you again, super focused on outside of yourself, right? Things you're doing for yourself, in your stability in the material world. And it looks, for the most part, whatever it is that you're engaged with there seems right, seems balanced, seems like, okay, this is it, this is good, it's happening. There's some losses along the way. So there's some, I don't know, maybe you're working on a project and you've been using this type of tool for this long, and now it's like, well, I no longer use this. I'm going to throw it on Marketplace, or I'm just going to get rid of it altogether, and that's that. So there's some things that you're cleaning up as you go, even though this is kind of a building up type of an energy where you're building something, you're doing something there. There's some things that you throw out. I see you kind of going and building, and as things kind of go up and up and up, I see things flying left and right, you know, that you no longer need, that no longer serve you. So there could have been that, like a sense of restructuring, or maybe, again, throwing things out, or just energies that no longer serve you as you build up and up and up here. It's cool. I can see you kind of going through that process in a natural, organic way, kind of like, you know, kind of needs to happen. So, okay. Let me do the Three of Pentacles. You get the Tower, the Queen of Swords, the King of Cups. Ah, see, there's more to it than just, you know, the validity of this connection, or the importance or the meaning of this connection to you. Because from a soul perspective, you know it's important. You carry it there no matter what happens here. But you're also giving me a sense of partners in crime, you know, which to me signifies friendship. like a strong sense of friendship here. So I feel like beyond what this represents to you from a soul perspective, I feel like there's that connection there that potentially constitutes a friendship. And you can feel the foundation of that coming down. You know? But at the same time, you're showing me that both parties contributed to that. So as both parties put this up, both parties took it apart. So I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. I mean, I get an idea, but you know, in your particular case, I don't know what it means. Okay. Let's do the Queen of Pentacles. In the immediate future, you get the Magician, the Ace of Cups, the Chariot. Yeah, this is a much needed energy of self-love, self-care, you know, in which, again, you could take yourself and go out, I don't know, fishing, whatever it is you're into, in the mountains, whatever you need to do for yourself. But it's just you and you, because you're doing it for you, you know. So it's I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's something you're doing for yourself because you're manifesting, first of all. Second of all, the universe is coming in and telling you, yeah, you do need this. Third of all, you feel it. Like, I feel the need to just do something for me, you know? And you're doing that, and it's fucking amazing. So, cool. Let me do the Knight of Swords. Maybe you do need a little bit of break from everything here. For the Knight of Swords in the supportive energies, you get the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Hangman. I mean, the way you're navigating through all of this, I think you're doing an amazing job. You know, you feel those times in which you may need a little bit of disconnection from it all. You take those. When it's time to deal with things, you know, head on, you're like, yeah, I'm right here with that. When there's an opportunity for something new to create on your end, you're on top of it. You're like, yeah. And it's all of it is possible and happening because you're keeping yourself present with everything that's going on in the present moment. You know, that tells me you're not a lot up here, which is, you know, pretty cool for a Gemini to not get stuck up here. And not only that, you're also showing up pretty proud of that. Like, yeah, I got this. I got this. As if you've been doing it your whole life. It's like, no, you're usually in the opposite extreme and you know that. But I like your attitude here. It's like, yeah, as long as I keep myself present with everything, I'm good. I got it. You do got it. Let me do the Ace of Pentacles in the hidden energies. You get the Emperor, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups. Interesting. There's something new that is already starting to develop for you, and there's investment on your end, but there's emotional investment too, and that's, you're almost looking upset about that. So you're either something's starting to grow on you or something, and I don't know why you would be upset unless you're not, and I don't think you're completely done with this process here. Because your heart is in this, you know, yeah, you're arguing with your heart through this, but you're not done with this cycle to be able to say, okay, I can open up my heart to this next one, to this new situation, which I don't know what it is. It could be just about anything, but there is emotional investment in it because it's starting to grow on you there. And the minute you realize, uh-oh, I'm in this, you almost look like you're upset with yourself. And the only reason that would happen would be if this cycle isn't closed yet. And I think it's not yet. And I think this is already starting to grow on you. So there's almost a sense of guilt. Like, hold on, I need to finish up this part of my heart involvement in this so that I can fully show up for this. You know what I mean? So, interesting. But I think something's kind of creeping up on you there, starting to grow on you. And you're not even, for now, realizing that yet. But the minute you do, you're kind of like, oh, what just happened? For the Seven of Pentacles, in your hopes and fears, you get the Two of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Sun. you're in the middle of two processes here. One that you're kind of closing off, and again, you're doing an amazing job through it. Where it stands, where it's going, what you're doing with it, how you're navigating through it. And there seems to be another process, another chapter that already opened up for you. And you're kind of in both. The minute that you're going to be done with this cycle, you know, wrapping this up completely, that's when you can fully show up for the next cycle, even though now they're kind of overlapping there. So that's when you're gonna be able to not be upset with yourself, that you're there with it because it's what you want, and you're gonna feel happiness here in this new chapter, because all of these energies that are kind of pressing on you right now, they're gonna be shut. You know, they're gonna be behind a door. So you're gonna be able and available for whatever's next here that kind of already started for you. But you're going to feel it a little later on, once this is, you know, in your rearview mirror. Let me do the Magician in the potential outcome. You get the 5 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the 6 of Cups. Yeah, you're still trying to manifest something here for this situation, but it's something potentially new, different. So there's still some sort of energy that's being put towards this to resume or to continue, but in a completely different way. You know, you're trying to bring something new to the table here. Okay. It's, you know, it's not a bad energy. It's just that you got to remember it takes two to tango. So no matter how much you would bring something to the table, somebody's going to show up from the other end of the table to accept that. So as long as you know that and you don't have any expectation for whoever that is to show up, you're good to go. You can manifest whatever you want, you know. You can have whatever intentions you want there. Just remember it takes two to tango, so don't be disappointed if you bring something to the table and nobody shows up. That's expectation, so try not to go there. Manifestation is good in that form. If it turns into expectation, then you're setting yourself up for disappointments, because even if they do show up, maybe they're not going to show up in the way you want them to. So again, expectation. So try not to go in the direction of expectation with that one. From the universe for you as a final advice, the Death card, the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Wands. I feel like something is kind of crumbling because it's too hard. So whatever the hell is going on with this foundation of whatever this is looking like it's going down. Something's weighing really hard on it, and it's kind of crushing it down to the ground, or even in that hole there. And it's been happening for a while. And I feel like you've known that, you know. So something is kind of wrapping up here. Let me do the soul's journey. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Cool. There are definitely parts of life that require your serious attention, but you have to learn to have fun. Don't neglect things that bring you joy or make you laugh. Besides the health benefits to your physical body, your emotional and mental bodies reap huge rewards from the art of joy. Seek out the people who make you feel good about being alive. Avoid cynicism and pessimism. Always look at your cup as being half full instead of half empty. The endless chatter of this physical dimension can seep into your conscious mind, so do your best to listen to happy music, read soul-enriching fiction, and be wary of movies or TV shows that can darken your mood. Happy people attract happy people. Fuck yeah. Anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.